Frank, you guys are now 20-0 when LeBron scores at least 30. Just wondering if the correlation between his being aggressive and scoring at that point and kind of how that sets things up for the team when he's been obviously the best passer.
Yeah, I mean, he's having that kind of scoring production, obviously helps the cause and moves the needle and sets our defense. And, when our defense is set, we're really good, as we saw tonight. We had when we get in the half court, this is really a defensive win for us. And, both LeBron and AD scoring the ball at the way they were help us set our defense.
Frank, that first half played out like a fight, right? It was really intense. The defenses were really functioning at a high level. What was that intensity like in the first half? It was
playoff intensity. I felt like I felt like our guys had I don't playoff nerves or whatever. It felt like they were just a little hesitant and needed to settle down. And I think we did a little bit after that first time up, or really after the first quarter, and. Just got into a little bit better rhythm. But, it definitely felt like, two teams feeling each other out and had a playoff atmosphere to it.
So, Frank, after the first half of the third quarter, can you just take us into whatever adjustments were made, or how much was that LeBron performance, 14 points in the quarter, I think at plus 11, was just him picking apart what he saw?
Well, it's just him being assertive, and he's going to do whatever it takes or whatever's needed to win the game. And what is more impressive to me was his defense on Giannis. Starting in the first half when AD was in foul trouble, we need somebody to step up, and for him to take on that assignment and still do what he did offensively, just an incredibly remarkable performance. Two-way performance. So. During that stretch, he's a basketball savant, so he obviously felt like, he needed to assert himself offensively with the coverages, and, he did that, and was obviously a big part of that stretch.
Frank, when they were making a run late, you needed some offense, and AD gave it to you. What was different for him maybe in that fourth quarter?
Well, I just think his first half was disjointed from the foul trouble. You get a little hesitant. You don't want an offensive foul, and you're thinking about the defensive end. And I just think he got into a rhythm. And these guys have a good feel for picking up the slack. LeBron carries the load a little bit, and either he fatigues or he comes out of the game, and it's time to play through Anthony. And that doesn't always mean playing through the post, but he did score in the post a few times. But we got him involved in some movement action as well, and. Obviously, with what he does on the defensive end, an incredible two-way performance by him as well. So both of those guys were spectacular tonight.
After the game, Dudley tweeted out something along the effect of, this was a MVP contest of sorts, and LeBron definitely won it. Was that sort of your read of tonight's game in terms of how LeBron dominated the game?
Well, LeBron definitely, got the upper hand in tonight's matchup, but it's one game out of 82, and I think LeBron would tell you himself that that's not anything that really motivates him. It was about beating the Bucks tonight, and we'll let the fans, or you nice people, talk about MVP comparisons.
Frank, a lot of times you guys are able to dominate by running a transition game. Tonight, when possessions were slowing down, and also your three-point shot wasn't really falling. What do you think you showed by being able to win a more slow-paced possession-by-possession game?
Well, you got to win a lot of different ways, and a lot of times in the playoffs, that's what the playoff games feel like. You're exerting so much energy on the defensive end that it's not just a track meet. And you don't get as many easy buckets in transition. Although we did have 27 for the game, but down the stretch, you have to control the pace, make sure you're getting a good shot every time down, and our guys were great at just executing. At crunch time, Milwaukee made their runs. They were getting to the free throw line a lot, making threes, and we were able to keep scoring. That's what we kind of talk about in the fourth quarter, whether up or down. Okay, we got to keep scoring in the fourth quarter. We got to execute then more than ever, and our guys did that tonight.
Frank,
You mentioned the work that LeBron did on Giannis defensively in addition to the stuff he was doing on the other side. How wary are you generally of asking him to do that sort of, game in, game out?
Well, you have to be intelligent. You just got to make sure that he's not asked to do it too much. That wasn't the primary assignment. We weren't even really going to put him on Giannis much at all tonight, to be honest. But when we encountered the foul trouble, he took the first chance of let me see what I can do on him, and he did a great job. And he wanted to stay on him. So certainly it's not we're not going to ask him in year 17 to guard the other team's best player for 40 minutes or whatever he played, 36 minutes, and still carry that load offensively. But he shows that he certainly can do it when it's needed.
Frank, is there any conversation you need to have with AD or had with him, or you just let him figure out how he got through the foul trouble and just played the rest of the game the right way?
No, it wasn't any kind of conversation. It's just you just let things play out. It's just a matter of time. If a short segment shows up in the first half where he doesn't really get going, you can talk about getting the ball in different ways and whatnot. And we did that to start the third quarter. We ran a play that we like to run and you try to get him some paint catches, and just to help get him going. But it's not any kind of pep talk or anything like that.